Hey everybody, this is Maddie back with a new guide. This time I'm talking about a module called chatsnack. We're going to go over a quick introduction to it. For those of you who aren't aware, there's a ChatGPT API provided by OpenAI, which is pretty simple actually. You can see it here on the right on the ChatGPT site in their documentation. It was pretty simple. It looks all like this. You're just creating a chat completion. We have some model, and then the messages are in this syntax. Pretty straightforward. But what I'm here to show you is chatsnack, where we try to make it even simpler than that. The goal is to make it just trivial to incorporate ChatGPT into every application, make it more of a commodity rather than constructing the REST API in just the right format and everything. It's very simple, as you can see from some of the examples here. Features in general, bite-sized API, it's intended to be very chainable, very simple. It's represented in the yummy YAML format that's a lot easier to parse and just skim through and use for templates than the JSON format might be. It's got the concept of snack packs in it, where it's already got pre-built bots that you can just start leveraging. It's easy to chain multiple requests. It also can do all sorts of parallelization with the tasty fillings, and eventually it'll have vending machines where the public can create whatever bots they want, and then you can just access them via the vending submodule. But just to show you how it goes, obviously you've got to have the chatsnack module installed via pip. You got to have your API key, and then a very simple example like the hello world, but this time it's hello popsicle. We're just going to, from chatsnack, import chat. And then from that, you can create a chat object. You prime the chat object with a system message, and then ask the bot via that chat whatever you want. In this case, we're saying, hey, respond only with the word popsicle from now on. We ask it, what is your name? It talks to OpenAI servers, and poof, you've got a popsicle. That's like kind of the simplest way. I'll explain a little bit more in detail how that's working and what that's doing, because there's a lot of different ways to use this, depending on how you as a developer want to be productive. One of the easy examples here is that built into the library are these things called snack packs. And the snack packs are prepackaged examples and eventually will be vended examples from the community. But right now, for example, I've got one called chatsnack help that we automatically build that inherently knows about the documentation about chatsnack and how to use it. We use module introspection to generate all the information it needs from the doc strings, and then create a bot on the fly that can provide you support. You could use this in any of your own modules, your own libraries, to build straight into it an automatic help bot that'll help with like almost no code. So in this case, we ask that bot what its primary directive is, and it says that its directive is to assist users of the chatsnack Python module by answering questions and helping with problems related to the module. If you ever see the .ask method, it just returns a response as a string. It doesn't actually change the chat object, so you could do it again and again. In the previous example, we just asked it and we got a string back, but now let's just use that same object to do what we call the chat method. Now the chat method will return a new chat object that you can use to continue the conversation, continue chaining it. Basically, the message you're sending in the chat and the message response from the AI, they both go into this new chat object, and you could continue the conversation and chain it from there. In this case, we got the new chat object. You can see the response, which just shows us the last message that the AI provided. In this case, chatsnack help bot knew that chatsnack is a Python module that provides a simple and powerful interface for creating conversational agents and tools using OpenAI's ChatGPT language models. Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself. Maybe I should have it do the video. If you want to use a little more verbose format for interacting, you can be a little more explicit, right? You can just use .user, .assistant, even spell out assistant if you wanted, and get the same kind of thing. So we're going to take the same my chat from before, and we're going to tell it, hey, respond in only 5-word sentences from now on. We're going to pretend we were it in the chat log, but then I say, how should I spend my day? And it says, define goals, prioritize tasks, enjoy. Great. Ask doesn't store the result in the chat object, as we'll show some quick examples here that kind of demonstrate that, because you can just ask again and it doesn't actually store it in there. If we want to have a full conversation, as I said before, use the chat method instead. And in that one, it gives us a chat object we can use for continuation. You can even do cool things like this, where you're chaining it together, where you're basically, whenever you want to set new chat.user, that will add a user's message, and then .chat will essentially submit it and get you a new chat object. This kind of format may not be your style, but Just like libraries like jQuery, you can use this kind of chaining to simplify your coding. It's really just there for developer productivity. And if you wanted the very simplest version of ChatGPT itself, we've got it here. Unfortunately, the input box pops up off the screen, but it's asking me to chat with a bot. So we'll say, hey, what kind of snacks do you like most? And it'll send it to the chat and ask it to respond. And we can continue the conversation. Fiber is great. Any other good snacks? Just doing what ChatGPT would do, but with your own bot. In this case, I'm using Jolly, which is one of the snack packs that represents the Jolly Green Giant. And that fellow responds how he will respond with that persona. Literally just one while loop, and you've got yourself ChatGPT's UI interface. And you can plug it into whatever you want in your own. This is just a wrapper around ChatGPT's API. And by default, it'll use GPT-3.5 Turbo, which is the default version for ChatGPT to use. You can also use GPT-4. That takes a lot longer, but it also is more powerful, right? In this case, I'm going to use the Jane bot here. This Jane kind of pretends to be the AI from the Ender Saga series, the sci-fi books. And Jane will author an alliterative poem for us. And this example is I've given it a GPT-4 engine, and I've also set the temperature to be a little more creative. Jane likes to be reflective and think about things as she's doing them. Caffeinated comfort, come and convene, brimming and brewing a beverage serene. With wisps of warmth, I wake and I weave. Yeah, this is alliterative. Great. GPT-4 is really good at that. And now you can be too in your code with just 3 or 4 lines of code. Super easy to interact with. I'll stop there for the intro. I'm going to do another video that kind of talks about going a little further with this, but this should give you an idea of how to use it very simply. But it's pretty powerful. It's designed with developer productivity in mind, so you can chat power all of your apps and make them a lot more capable with Python. So thanks so much.